So you are looking for a build that can solo anything? Don't look further. This build is extremely strong. It can kill any champion, any legendary mob in the open world by itself. It has extremely strong sustain, high amounts of damage. It has really high dodge uptime while also keeping almost any boon permanently. I'm Summer and let's take a look at this build. You're playing Vindicator with Spear and Shortbow. Your stats are Celestial because that's the most stats you can get from a gear. And you're using Trapper Rune because most of your damage comes from conditions. All your gear is Celestial and you use condition damage infusions if you have them. Your relic will be Relic of Rivers. It's extremely strong in a Celestial build because you have boon duration. So every time you dodge, you will get almost 6 seconds of alacrity and 6 seconds of regen. So as a Vindicator, you can permanently upkeep alacrity with this, which is really crazy. Because of course then all of your offensive and defensive skill come off cooldown much more often. On your Spear, you want to have Frailty and Strength Satchel for having permanent 25 vulnerability on your target and permanent 25 stacks of might on yourself for just maximum damage. Then on your, let's say, weapon swap, on your ranged set, so to say, your shortbow, you will have Celerity and Torment. That's because Torment is just more damage, and Celerity you have there because you don't have that much quickness access. And if you swap, for example, to your second stance, where you don't have any quickness normally in demon stance, you then also swap to the shortbow to get the possibility to get almost 10 seconds of quickness because of the boon duration. And then you after you disable a foe, so you can upkeep enough quickness to swap back to your other stance where you can get quickness again. So you can upkeep 100% quickness and alacrity. So you're, let's say, the perfect self-buffing build. You have every boon that is really necessary in the game. Really strong. Like I said, Shortbow is your ranged set. Spear has some range capabilities as well, but mostly it's a melee set. And the most damage comes from your Shortbow, your Spear. And if you really need to go away from your target, you can swap to your Shortbow. So for consumables, you will want to use Meteor Spangle Skewers, because if you pop this, you have a really high torment duration, which is really nice on a Celestial build, of course. And then you want to run either Toxic Focusing Crystal or Tuning Icicles or the equivalent of this to get even more condition damage. So it's really straightforward, it's not that expensive, and you can deal even more damage with those consumables. So now to the traits. The traits are very, let's say, standard. You want to be Corruption for more damage and Salvation for the defense, and Vindicator for both of them. So let's start with Vindicator. You have a special kind of dodge where you jump into the air and come back down. And you're aware that depending on the trait you choose here, you get some different dodge, let's say, value. This one gives you protection and might and also deals some damage. Then you get some more healing power depending on the health threshold. And you get energy when you use your F2 skill, the energy melt, which is really strong because it will not only give you energy, but will also give you endurance. So it's a really strong skill to use, especially when you are out of energy. Then you get some nice healing, but some more boons from this trait as well. But most important, you get access to the Lion stance, which is really strong. We will get to that in a second. Then we have Corruption, which is your damage trait line. Every time you, let's say, Legend swap, you will use the Invoke Torment skill. This gives you just more damage on your Torment, which is your main damaging condition. Some more condition damage, really nice. Then you have Demonic Resistance, just reducing incoming damage on you while you have resistance, and you have permanent resistance, so it's really strong. And you have some more damage increases here, and you have, every time you swap legends and you cast passively Invoke Torment, you will then get resistance, which lasts over 7 seconds, and then will heal you every seconds for 455. Really, really strong. And you can permanently upkeep resistance, therefore you have permanently heal, and you should permanently swap legends to just upkeep this. And of course the damage reduction. If you feel like you don't need the damage reduction because you just need more damage, you can of course swap to this Abyssal Chill, because it will really increase your damage, because you have quite a lot of chills and therefore you will inflict more damage, especially as your dodge also inflicts chill. So I would say this is the very defensive option, but for the most part, if you don't need it, you go for this. Just more damage. And if you really feel like this is a really easy fight and you don't need to do any healing or resistance, then you can of course swap to the Diabolic Inferno, which will really increase your damage as well, but you will lose quite a lot of sustain. And at this point, the question is, why are you even running this solo build if you can deal just that much damage? So I would say, if you are looking for a build that can solo anything, you should go for a build that is also really sustaining and not go for maximum damage. So now to Salvation trade line, that's your, let's say, really sustaining trade line. You get some healing on your dodge roll, you get some healing power and concentration based on your healing power, really strong. Then this doesn't help you at all. And the most important trait is this: you get damage reduction straight up. Permanently, actually, because you heal so much. So it's permanently minus 15% incoming damage. Really, really strong. Then every few seconds, depending on the boons you have, and you have permanently more than 5 boons, so you get permanently every 3 seconds over 1000 barrier. Really, really strong. And then at the end of the dodge roll, remove a condition. That's really important because that's the main condition cleanser in this build. And if there's a condition heavy fight, this is the lifesaver. So that's it for the traits. Now let's take a look at the weapon skills. So the spear is some, let's say, mid-range, mostly melee attacks. The 2 skill is damage and some chill. The 3 skill is an evade. We should not use this as a typical damage skill. This is a pull and deals some damage, really nice. And then you have your main damaging skill with this Abyssal Raise. Just spam this and try to reset your cooldown of this skill with all your other spear skills. Just spam all these spear skills except the 3 to deal maximum damage, but you can also save the Abyssal Blood for breakbar damage. Your shotbow skills is rather similar, so you have your damaging skills 2, 3 and 4. The 4 skill also deals some nice breakbar damage, and then you have the main breakbar damaging skill is the 5. And this is also very important because that will proc your Celerity Sigil on this weapon set and therefore give you quickness. Then you have, like I said, Energy Melt as a really nice energy and endurance skill. Then this one will swap your alliances. So now I'm in the offensive one, which you will be 99% of the time because it's the good one for dealing damage. So this skill will give you quickness and endurance per target tick. So with this skill you can keep 100% quickness. Really strong. This is a stun break and also a daze in the offensive one. And it gives you a short second stability. So it's really strong if you feel like you need a stun break or some more breakbar damage. This skill will deal some heavy damage in the red form, the orange one. So cast it whenever it's off cooldown. And it's a really long range as well. This is just a leap finisher if you need a gap close. But for the most part you would just use this and this skill for dealing damage. And your healing skill is really strong because it will also give you might per target hit and it's really strong. In your blue form, you will only go if you need defense, because this is a stun break as well, but will also give you protection. This is some nice healing skill if you really need it. But for the most part, you need the condition cleanse from this, and it's really strong. It removes 5 condition, gives you endurance per condition removed, and also heals a lot per condition. So if you have a lot of conditions, just use this skill and you are almost at full health again, and you lost every condition. Really strong. This is now evade backwards, really strong. And this is also a nice heal if you really need it. So you have 3 healing skills, 2 in the Alliance stance and 1 in the Demon stance. Then if you swap to Demon, you have a nice healing skill. Heals even more if you have more conditions. And some nice boon removal if you need it. So even boon removal is covered with this build. Then you have a leap jump to your target or wherever you want to. And it's a chill field and it's a pull. So if you need more breakbar damage, you can use this. and you have some nice resistance application if you really need it, and it's a stun break as well. But for the most part, you will just want to use your Embrace the Darkness, your elite skill, to upkeep pulsing damaging field around you. Therefore, you will want to try to stand on your target with your spear. And even if you swap to shortbow, you should stick to your target because you will want to get the torment procs around you and to hit the target. And then you have a really strong build, and you can deal so much damage. You see in this clip that I stand still and kill champion and legendary mobs just by spamming all my attacks, dodging of course a lot, because dodging deals damage and also gives me alacrity. And it's really strong, really easily, and extremely fun to see how strong your build is, and you don't have to know the mechanics of the fight. Most of the time you just kill it and ignore everything because you have enough healing to out-heal anything that comes at you. Of course, if there's a one-shot attack, be aware, this will also one-shot you, you can't tank it. But if it's not one-shotting you, you will just heal back up. So if you enjoyed this build guide, please leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.